So here I am in a flatbed truck with my buddy Wayne. It's the type of truck used for delivering skids of building materials to construction sites. The truck has a built-in crane mounted behind the cab. It is used for loading and unloading heavy freight. Wayne and I have just picked it up for a big job he has to do tomorrow. Wayne is one of my neighbors. He lives a few houses down the road from me. He is also the one who discovered the solution to bouncy floor record skip syndrome. Anyone whose music collection consisted of 33 1/3 RPM record albums knows what bouncy floor record skip syndrome is. If your copy of the song Hotel California played through in 3 minutes or less, you had it bad. His solution was simple. His turntable was suspended from the ceiling using a modified Kids Jolly Jumper. The modified Jolly Jumper effectively eliminates bouncy floor record skip syndrome for good. It certainly improved the music quality and all of my parties. Wayne owned one of my favorite cars ever, a 1965 Ford Thunderbird. That car was in excellent condition. It was emerald green with a dark green leather interior and a matching vinyl top. It even had the sequencing tail lights. It was the ultimate personal luxury car in 1965. That car was a pleasure to ride in and a pleasure to look at. It got looks wherever we went. It was a beautiful car. That may be why I got so angry when I heard Wayne had smashed it up. It was involved in a hit and run. Wayne hit a parked car and took off. He was driving drunk. There would be no insurance to pay for the damages. Back in the 1970s, drinking and driving was just as bad as it is today. The biggest difference is how it seemed to be more socially acceptable then. People would not think twice of having a few drinks at a party or a bar then routinely driving home. Gone are the days the cops would give you a break and tell you to go straight home, or maybe just follow you home to make sure you got there safely. Today, if you are caught drinking and driving, you will be charged with impaired driving. You will be arrested. You will have your car impounded, and you will be taken away to jail. And if that's not bad enough, your license may be suspended for a year and your insurance rates are sure to skyrocket. The Thunderbird sustained damage to the hood, front fender, headlights, grille and bumper on the passenger side. A lot of damage and a lot of money to repair. There was no way Wayne could afford to fix it. He didn't have any money. For a few years I have had occasion to travel Yonge Street down to the Shepherd Avenue area. I would take the bus and just sit watching the scenery go by. More than once I had noticed a Thunderbird sitting in the parking lot at Northtown Plaza in Willowdale. It was parked right up front by Yonge Street. After Wayne had his accident, I remembered seeing that car. I wondered if it might still be there. It looked like it had been abandoned to me, and it was the same car as Wayne's. I told Wayne about this car and he wanted to know where it was parked. I said Northtown Plaza on Yonge Street in Willowdale. He said let's go down and check it out. When we got to the plaza, the car was still there. It was parked in the same spot facing Yonge Street. I don't think the car had moved since I had seen it last more than a year earlier. It turned out to be a 1964 Thunderbird. Nearly all the parts were interchangeable with Wayne's 1965. Wayne wanted that car. He told me what he planned to do. This is where it gets serendipitous. Wayne's mother was the first female mobile crane owner-operator in Ontario. She owned a flatbed truck equipped with a crane. Wayne's plan was to get her truck and go to Northtown Plaza and get that car. Early Sunday morning, Wayne took the truck down to Northtown Plaza. He said the place was deserted. He backed the truck in and parked it beside the 64 T-Bird. The car was locked. He forced open the no-draft window using a crowbar. Next, he stuck in his hand and opened the door. Then he opened the passenger door. At this point he ran a heavy-duty lifting strap through the interior of the car and slammed the two doors shut. Now it was just a simple operation to lift the car onto the flatbed and go. He told me he drove to a side street to strap the car down before he brought it back. Wayne and I never really hung around with each other. He was more of an acquaintance than a friend. We were only neighbors. That's why it was a couple of weeks until I saw him again. That is when, over a beer, he told me the story of how he picked up the car. Not too long after that Wayne moved. Period. I wasn't sorry to see him leave. I didn't find him overly trustworthy from the get-go. In fact, he was a bit of a dickhead. On one occasion when we were having friends over for a couple of beers, Wayne and Mike, another neighbor, were both trying to impress the same girl. Wayne started acting like an asshole and got too personal with his insults for my liking. Mike had just come over for a beer after cutting his lawn. It was a hot day, and he had his shirt off. He started talking to the same girl Wayne was trying to impress. Wayne said to the girl, "This guy is gross looking. Just look at his back. It's all full of moles." Mike had several skin blemishes on his back. They're commonly known as moles. That sort of personal attack really gets to me. It's like teasing me because I am legally blind. The type of thing that is not your fault and you have no control over. I said to Wayne in front of everybody there, "If you draw a line from mole to mole on Mike's back, you get a star. If you draw a line from zit to zit on your face, you get an asshole." I didn't see Wayne too often after that day, and I never saw either of those T-birds again. I have no idea what happened to those cars, or whether Wayne got his 65 T-bird back on the road, or not.